Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm turning 27 this week, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but I actually feel like growing up, it's such an exciting thing because as I get older, the more I learn about the world and myself, the more I learn about the person I want to become, the more I see myself realizing all those things and becoming the person that I want to be. I don't know, I just feel like that whole journey and this whole journey of being alive and healthy and breathing and being able to grow up, I think it's such a wonderful thing that I don't know, a lot of us may take for granted, myself included, every once in a while. So today we're going to talk about 26 things I learned at 26. And having a birthday at the end of the year, I used to hate it when I was younger because it gets combined with Christmas. So instead of getting two gifts, I just get one gift or just no gift at all. And yeah, but now that I'm older, I think it's such a awesome thing because you usually reflect on your birthdays. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna reflect in December, and then it's the new year, so you do more reflecting. So it's just this fusion of great reflection. So to all my Sagittarius babies out there, here's a hug. Happy birthday to you guys. Happy birthday month. And yeah, so let's just get started with the first thing. One of the most important things I learned this year is that you can't be your best all the time, but you can try your best all the time. Sometimes your best is here and that's totally fine. Sometimes it's here and that's totally fine too. As long as we're trying our best given the circumstances of whatever situation we're in, that's good enough. And I feel like most of us on this channel are all pretty, I don't know, like we kind of have really high expectations for ourselves. We're really hard on ourselves. We want to be this thing that we have in our minds, and it frustrates the heck out of us when we're not. Sometimes your best isn't gonna be the picture you painted in your head, and that's totally okay. This kind of ties in with the second thing, which is done is better than perfect. Doing something and starting is so much better than having the result be exactly what you imagine it to be. And I feel like more often than not, the chase for perfection and wanting something to be perfect is actually holding us back so much for even just starting. And sometimes it just prevents us from starting at all. So I really started embracing the fact this year that things aren't always as bad as we think it is in our head. It's almost always just in our head, thinking it's not good enough, thinking we're not good enough. So done is better than perfect. And the third thing is there's no best option for what you should do with your life. What I've realized this year is that as long as I use my heart fully, it's a Chinese saying for 用心. Yong is use, Xing is heart. If I fully apply myself to whatever it is that's right in front of me, no matter which path I take, if I use my heart in any one of these paths, eventually they're all gonna come together. This is something that you guys actually ask me quite often too, of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right thing to do is. Please help. I've learned it's just to do my best where I am with what I have and trusting myself in the process that eventually it'll lead me to where I need to be. I love New York. There's so much noises everywhere. And then the sun's about to set. My life. Okay. And I guess that could be the fourth thing. Just rolling with the punches, you know, waking up. You never know where you're gonna get every day, but you can try your best where you are and do your best. Actually, that's just a summary of the first 3 points. So the fourth thing is balance, which is something that I struggle with so much this year. It's important to push ourselves and it's important to push ourselves hard, but it's also important to remember that there's only so much we can humanly do before we push ourselves to a full-blown blowout. And it brings us to the next point, which is to give yourself permission to be a potato if you want to be a potato. Listen to your body, listen to yourself, give yourself what it needs, because next point, it's all temporary. No matter how awesome you're feeling, no matter how terrible you're feeling, no matter how if you're on cloud 9, if you're at rock bottom, wherever you are, it's all gonna be temporary. So don't be too attached to it, which is like the seventh thing of not to be too attached to anything, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna feel awesome all the time. We're not gonna feel terrible all the time. So to be attached to wanting to feel a certain way all the time, we're just setting ourselves up for failure because we can't be one thing all the time as much as we want it to be. So I think it goes back to acceptance and just accepting yourself for all the good and bad and knowing that sometimes best is here, sometimes best is here, and it's okay. Yeah, I think it all comes down to like acceptance, awareness, knowing who you are and knowing that we're human and it's okay to feel things and to not be okay all the time. Yeah. The next thing, when in doubt, honesty is always the best. I just bit myself. Honesty is always the best policy. For this video, there are going to be sponsors, but I just want to let you guys know that it's to allow me to make what I want to make for the end of the year, so that there can be the manifestos and the thing on my spirituality and all these awesome things that I've been itching to make but I haven't been able to. So with all that being said, this is going to bring us to the next point, which is giving back. I'm going to be donating what I'm making from this video to my favorite nonprofit that moves me and inspires me so deeply every single year. This is a form of giving back for sure, but I want to start giving back to causes that have helped me so much during my darkest times and has helped uplifted me and my soul and my existence. I think this all sounds like pretty like, but dude, if you guys have seen Shenyun, you probably will know what I mean. If you guys haven't, I highly, highly encourage you guys to watch it. So the mission of Shenyun is to revitalize 5,000 years of Chinese culture through like singing, dancing, musical performances, and it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. I'm gonna throw some clips up for you guys to see. Some of you guys have asked if I will ever start a Patreon. Some of you guys have asked if I'm ever going to do some sort of a donations page. I'm so grateful and thankful that you guys are thinking about me and want to help me in this way, but I do have more than enough already, so it'll mean the world to me if you guys could donate even $1 or $5, however much, to Shenyun. I'll leave the link down below, and of course this isn't the sponsor message, just FYI. I really want to share this with you guys. Okay, number 10 is self-care is skincare, and skincare is self-care. I spent a good amount of this year learning so much about the outer, inner, outer, how our internal state, stress, being overwhelmed, the foods we feed ourselves affects our outer world, like our skin and everything out here, and how also the products we apply to our face really affects everything that's going on inside as well. So the importance of clean beauty, the importance of being mindful of the different types of products we're putting on our faces. This year, I was really happy to learn so much more about clean beauty and discovering brands like Lane, who are so committed to sourcing like the best 100% non-toxic skincare and beauty products. If you do have people in your life, or maybe it might be yourself, who are looking into these cleaner types of skincare products, I would honestly highly recommend Lane. Yes, this is sponsored, but I really do love this brand and I have so much respect for their mission and everything it is that they're doing. So there is this hydration kit that comes in a pouch, and there are 3 products which are perfect for winter. These products make an awesome gift because it's for all ages, it's for all skin types. It allows you to share your love for your loved ones because you are caring about their health, you're caring about their internal state. So if this kit is something you feel like you can use in your life, or if this is something that you feel like you can give someone who is very near and dear to your heart, feel free to click the link down below. You can get over 45% off and free shipping from Lane, and you will be able to get this hydration kit in this awesome little pouch. So number 11 is time spent on yourself is never time wasted, even if that means taking some time away from your loved ones, because I really believe that at the end of the day, those who love you and those who understand what you're doing will be there supporting you and cheering for you, regardless if you can be physically or mentally present, or even if you're not physically and mentally present for a while. That being said, relationships are also really important. But I really do believe that as long as there's an open line of communications, as long as both parties, both sides are trying, or I think, let's just focus on ourselves. As long as you're trying your best to keep that line of communication open, it's really important, which brings me to number 12, which is my parents are my best friends. The older I'm getting, the more I'm just like, wow, they're so cool and they're so funny and they're so cute. As of right now in my life, I'm not the best at keeping in touch with people. The only people that I keep touch with are my parents. Like, I call mom and dad, either mom or dad or both, every day on my commute home, even if I get to talk to them for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And I just feel like you'll make time for what's most important. And as of right now in my life, it's like, yeah, my parents are what's most important. And of course, my friends, relationships, like everyone else, that's important as well. But the older you get, the more you also realize that you don't have time for everything. So what you spend your time on is a reflection of what's most important to you. And so it's important to know what's most important to you so that you can spend your time that way instead of any other way. Hope that makes sense. So the next point is curiosity. I feel like being curious is one thing that has led me to where I am today. It's a curiosity of, I wonder if there's a need for the type of content that I'm creating. I wonder what the world would look like if more people were open to talking about these kinds of things and sharing these deeper, more like, oh, maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know why our society, we don't. It's like we all go through negative feelings. We all feel bad sometimes slash all the time, but like, how come we don't talk about that more? And what would a world look like if we do that more? And so I just feel like curiosity really is such an important trait that can also be learned. It's not like a fixed IQ thing where you're just born with like this allotted amount of curiosity, and once you hit that threshold, you're done. You can try to be more curious. You can try to care more. You can try to want to learn more about the world, about the people around you, about the things around you, about the things that interest you. So that's being curious. And then next one is be strict with your own values, but do not project your values and expectations for yourself onto other people. This was something that took me so long to learn because I used to be so... I feel like with my channel, I share with you guys what I've been through, and I talk about things in a way that's like, this is what I do, find what you're doing, because we're different people. We go through the same things, but it's different how we're going to get to our destination, or our answers, or to where we want to go. So I make a point to not sit here and be like, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and this is the right way, that is the wrong way, because that's who I used to be. I know myself, I hate being talked to that way, but I used to be like that to my friends. I used to project my values onto my friends. I used to have these like absurdly high expectations for myself, and I will have that for my friends as well. And when they don't meet those expectations, I'm so disappointed, or I get upset, or I feel like they don't care about me and what I think. And it goes back to like attachments. It goes back to just, acceptance of how it's good to want things for yourselves, but let that just live in your own world, because the moment you start projecting that onto other people, like, I don't know, like it's not fair and it's not how relationships should be. If we're able to love and accept each other more, regardless of how they look like, regardless of what they believe in, regardless of anything, it'll change the world. For sure, if love and acceptance and like compassion became this thing that was just ingrained in all of us. Number 16 is no loss, no gain. It's a Buddhist principle, and it is that if you don't lose anything, you won't gain anything. For example, for this year, what I lost is I lost sleep. I lost time with my friends. I don't know if lost is like the best word to say in this situation, but it's just like the direct translation from Chinese. To lose something, I lost a lot of things this year by focusing on work, but what I gained were the fruits of my labor of growing my channel to the point it is, being able to work with brands that I love, that I really care about, being able to do all the things I'm able to do now is because of all the work that I put in and all the things that I had to let go of, like having fun and doing the things that I'm slowly trying to bring back into my life. But yes, I really do believe that you get out of something as much as you put into something. The fact that you are watching me on this little screen right here is proof enough that you really can do whatever it is that you want to do if you put your full heart into it and if you really trust and believe in yourself. So that is 16. Eat that ice cream, eat that pizza, eat that ramen. Do what you want to do, because we only have one life and it's too short to spend like restricting ourselves and putting ourselves into this little thing and like you can only do this, you can only do that, so much restriction, so much this and that. And coming from me, this was like something I actually embrace this year, because I've always struggled with my weight. I mean, like, I'm already skinny. I'm a skinny person, but I've always believed that I can be skinnier and that I can be more this, I can be more that, because we are human and we have these like unrealistic expectations for myself. Midway through this year, I was like, you know what? Just eat what you want and don't be attached to anything. I think that's the most important thing of like, don't be attached to eating certain foods. Don't be attached to looking a certain way. Don't be attached to only being able to eat green stuff and healthy, organic, whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's just as long as I'm not starving, as long as I'm not hungry, then like that should be okay. And I kid you not, the moment this realization settled and I really believed in it, my weight just plateaued in a good way. Like it just balanced itself out to the point where I haven't worked out at all. I haven't been eating the cleanest, but like my weight just evened out because my attachment to looking a certain way and to only being able to eat specific, very restricting foods was let go of. And this is like a Buddhist principle of really like letting go of attachments and how things will just going according to the natural course of life. So I don't know. Yeah, it really, at the end of the day, it's everything that I talk about today really is like going back to letting go of attachments. Okay. Number 18 is use fear as a barometer to chase your dreams, because for the most part, if you're scared of doing something, if you're fearful of doing something, it usually means that's exactly what you should be doing. So take the chance, take the risk, and go do those things, because it'll probably lead you to the most beautiful places. And I feel like we talked about this enough, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Number 19 is learning. Learning can come in any shape, size, and form. The previous years, I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of podcasts. But for this year, because those things take time, and you guys know how much I worked this year, I didn't have as much time to do that as much as I would have liked. But I did spend a lot of my time looking up videos and courses online so that I can improve and hone in on my craft of what it is that I'm doing on my channel, how to edit videos better, how to do social media better, how to be a better speaker. I still obviously clearly need to work on that. And a lot of that is through taking courses on Skillshare. And you guys have probably heard me talk about Skillshare many, many times throughout the year. They're my favorite online learning course with over 2,500 courses on everything from creativity, like arts and crafts, to business and productivity. So if this is something that you feel like you could use in your new year to hone in on that craft, that thing that you've been feeling like you need to do, but you haven't yet done it yet because you're scared for whatever reason and something's holding you back, this is your sign. Skillshare is offering the first 500 people a 2-month premium trial, as they always have every month in my video. So if you're interested, link is down below. And let's move on to the last couple of points. What it really means to give without expectations. There's a huge difference between knowing and accepting, and like really embracing and living out what you know. So I've always known that, like, yeah, give and don't expect, give and don't respect. But like deep down in here, I'm just like, keeping tabs and like, oh my God, I've done so much for this person. How come they're not appreciative? How come they don't acknowledge my help? How come they don't say thank you? And it took time to really slowly chip away at this thing, because it's something, I don't know, it's like it's human nature for us to expect something in return. But as with all things, things take time, and that's okay. As long as we're working actively towards being better and letting go and becoming a better version of ourselves, that's okay. Number 21 is the world doesn't owe us anything. We have to work hard for the things that we want. And I feel like, I don't know what it is about our generation, myself included. I just grew up with this sense of entitlement of, I deserve things because I'm me and I'm so capable and I'm so able to do all the things, so I deserve X, Y, and Z. And it took me a good amount this year to really, again, chip away at this notion that the world owes me anything. But no, it really comes down to hard work, having faith in yourself and something greater than yourself, and persistence. And that's the last point. Make sure you stick around for the last point. If you guys have already stuck around for this long, I don't know why I just said that, because you guys are probably going to watch till the end. Number 22 is always, always, always listen to your gut and trust yourself. I really do believe I believe that there's us, right? And there's a mini version of us in here that's our true knowing self that knows what's best for us. And this like little version of yourself is always like, Rowena, do this. Be careful, Rowena, you're about to fall. Or like, don't do that. Like, danger is coming. But a lot of times we're just like, shut up. Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know. Or like, we're so preoccupied with the things in here that we tune out our voices in here. Every single time I've listened to my intuition, every time I listen to my gut, it's only done great things for me. And I did exactly what I need to do. And it brought me to where I am today by listening to myself and trusting myself. And of course, like higher powers and all that. But I think like believing in that comes down to believing in yourself. So, number 23, you can have everything but not all at once. This is something that Chriselle Lim put in her 30 Things I Learned at 30. This is so true. It kind of goes back to, I'm sure you guys have seen that triangle: school, social life, sleep, pick two. And I think when you get older, it's like work, social life, sleep, pick two. Mine for the past 2 years is work and sleep. And, hopefully it's changing. Number 24 is ownership. Owning what you do and just living and breathing who you are. I think that's something I'm still working on. I don't see many people really owning who they are and doing what they do. And when you do come across those people, you're just like, wow, how do you do that? Like, how are you so you? And these people exude this energy that makes you just like want to be like, yes, you're so you, like you're inspiring me to be me. I'm going to read a quote from the founder of my spiritual practice, Falun Dafa, on just that persistence and perseverance. And it's honestly helped me through some of my hardest times. When it's difficult to endure, you can endure it. When it's impossible to do, you can do it. When you're overcoming a real hardship or tribulation, you try it. When it's difficult to endure, try to endure it. When it looks impossible and is said to be impossible, give it a try and see if it is possible. And with that, this is number 25th. And this brings us to the last point of number 26. And I'm going to leave this one up to you guys. Please let me know down below what's the one most important life lesson you learned, and feel free to thumbs up and comment on any of the comments that you guys read that you guys can relate to. Although the things we go through are so different, the feelings that we feel are so universal. So we're all in this together, really, we are. And if someone hasn't told you in a while, you're doing great and you're doing awesome and you will be okay. Everything will be okay. If it's not okay right now, don't worry. It's all temporary. Things will come around if you continue to push yourself to be the best version of yourself, and if you continue to take care of yourself and practice self-care and practice self-love, because at the end of the day, it's not that no one else will do it for you. It's that you deserve it. You deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to be loved by yourself. And with that, I love you guys so much. Thank you for making 26 one of the best years, no, the best year of my life. And I'm so excited for 27. I'm so excited to take you guys along. And my battery's about to die and it's dark and it's so dark outside. I'm going to flip my camera on in a second. And with that, I love you guys. Bye. New York City. See how dark it is? Okay, bye.